vouch for Andrea.
No.
It's too early in the morning for me to behave.
It's very nice of you guys to get up in so early.
Jules, what was the concept of your character again? Because I can't really read.
I am the servant of the Inky God. I am an accountant adventurer. It's about time accountants got in on the adventuring.
Yeah.
Inky God.
Your worst nightmare, an accountant with a battle axe. Probably don't actually have a battle axe, but still.
In the actual campaign that this is from, she has an enormous sword that is much longer than she is, and she rarely pulls it out because it's way too big for her.
Excellent.
Oh.
I might make reference to that anyway because it's really cute.
So this is Guards of Abashan. Abashan is an enormous ancient city. It is built on the layers of many Abashans before it. It's a patchwork built up. It is a port city at the mouth of a river. The valley goes on into the sort of ancient lost ruins. The city itself is a crossroad. The city has been conquered, reconquered, deconquered, liberated, deliberated dozens and dozens of times over the years. And with each imperium and nation building up different parts of it. The one sort of singular feature about it is that at some point in its history, someone managed to put in magical sewer systems and water supplies. So fresh water is always abundant here. Now, Abashan has a sort of a loose government now with areas broken up into districts. And you are city guards for the Dusk Quarter. And in particular, the Dusk Quarter contains a feature that is very unusual. Essentially, a couple of decades ago, there was an adventurer gold rush as word got out that there were treasures in a particular section of a city, and so adventurers began to dig underneath a particular section of the city. And they did this for a good couple of years, and they ended up collapsing a whole section of the city, creating an enormous sinkhole. And a lot of
find the gold?
No.
Okay. So they only collapsed the structure, not the economy. That's good.
Right. Great sections of the city, actually, that came down, crashed, and formed ruins, but some fell intact. And now this pit has become a neighborhood of its own. It is one of the last sort of desperate stops for people. It takes a while to climb down into it. There are ropes and ladders and pulleys to get down into it, but there are neighborhoods and sections that are relatively intact. There are some mines that they put on the side. There's a particular feature called the Palace, which is an old underground sort of cathedral complex that a bunch of people have gone to live in, so it's like a packed-in apartment building on that section. But it is a wild place. It is a scum-filled hive of villainy. And you are in charge of keeping things in line.
And the scummy.
Yes. Your particular boss pretty much is loose. You are allowed to handle things as you will, with the idea that you don't want to start riots and you don't want to burn the place to the ground. But beyond that, you have your leisure as to how you wish to handle disputes. Generally, since you know you're going to be living here for a while, you want to decide how you want to get along with the locals, as it were. Now, you guys have worked together, and I say guys, and I apologize, I'm going to use that's my fallback generic, okay? Have worked together for a good month and a half, 2 months. You've come down here for various reasons, and so you do know each other, and you have worked together before. A logistics point before we begin, I'll usually throw a situation to you, and you guys will decide how you want to approach it. The only thing I ask is if you guys split up, that you try to stay in pairs. It makes it easier for me. So that's my sort of one-shot rule there. So Abashan, guard post, the last about day and a half, 2 days has been an absolute mess. Just awful. Essentially, a cosmic egg fell from the sky and started a fire. You guys had to find it before it got hard-boiled and bring it back. But all of the gods sent their various avatars down, and so there was all kinds of chaos. The egg was taken care of. It was secured. Eventually went to the city priests. But for the last 2 days, it has been divine craziness here. People having visions, power-drunk avatars coming down off their high, and randomized omens and portents that make no sense. So you guys have been running around cleaning up after all of that. And you come in here, you've had a few hours off, and you come into your briefing. This is where you'll be given your choice of your cases to go work on. And your sergeant is a woman named Adara Delastus. And she'll come in. She is old, wrinkled, gnarled, cranky, ugly. They don't have cigarettes here, but she must smoke something to get that voice to that gravelly pitch down. And she always looks angry. And despite how old she is, bright red hair, you're not sure if she dyes it or what. It's almost freakish in color. But she will come in and greet you. Following behind her is the judge that you have on retainer, Chrysanthemus. It's evening, so he's even more drunk than he usually would be during the day. And he will claw his way over to the stool in the corner to sit himself down and has a little bit of the shakes there. And Adara will do roll call. Ralph, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Chuka.
Yes, sir. I mean, ma'am.
Ma'am. Istvan.
Yo.
And Glyneth.
Yes, ma'am.
The wizard and the noble have called in sick, so it's you four on duty today. Just a couple of heads up before you go on patrol or I give you your cases. Last night, or rather earlier today, we had a series of stone rains in the pit. Little tiny stone pebbles falling from the sky. They're perfectly round. Just watch your step in some of the neighborhoods. They're all over the place. So you're going to want to watch out for that. Also, the Amateur Brewers Fest is going on over at the Plaza of Broken Wings.
And 2 of our guardsmen are out sick.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
There might be a link. But be prepared, A, for crowds, B, for a lot more drunks, and be advised that they can't legally call what they're brewing beer or ale, according to guild regulations, and most of the time it really isn't, so there might be a lot of people sick for the next day or so. We also had an outbreak. Somebody was selling wereboar meat on the street, so we've had some quarantines. Just be aware of that. All right. I've got 2 cases that are top on the agenda. I'm going to give you the details, and you guys can pick which one you want to do. You'll eventually have to do all of them, but the one that you're going to work on right now. As you know, the pit here is subject to various influxes of murder hobos, adventurers coming down here, they're awful, awful human beings and non-human beings. Usually that's not a problem. They come down, and sometimes they get rolled because if they're coming down here, they kind of don't know what they're doing. And that's usually not a problem, but we've had more of that in the last few weeks. And in particular, a nobleman's son wanted to try out the adventuring life. He hired an experienced adventurer. They came down into the pit. He's gone missing, the noble's son, but the guide that he hired turned up dead. His father is pressing and has been pressing on us for a while to look into the situation. So there is a lot of pressure from above about this. In fact, the father has come down into the pit to kind of press for the investigation to go forward. So that's one thing, looking into the murder of murder hobos, as it were. The other thing is we've had a series of apparitions appearing in the houses of locals. I don't know if they're specters, wraiths, ghosts, whatever. Essentially, they appear and scare people and head out, and I would think they were, the undead, except that then the houses are robbed. So I'm kind of thinking maybe it isn't a ghost. Might be a scam, might be a Thieves Guild operation, I don't know. If it turns out to be something, undead, then I'm going to have to call an exorcist from up top and get that taken care of. So that's the other one that you guys could look into. And she will say, questions? Good. All right. Excellent. All right. Briefing sheet with the relevant details is over on the board. Bye. And she'll leave and head back into her office and leave you guys to decide what you want to do.
That's where we like her. I go to copy the briefing sheet.
Which you can do with your magicks like a Xerox.
Ooh.
Wow, very handy to have. So, which one do you guys think is more interesting?
Oh, well, the ghost one is more interesting.
I think they both have merits.
But ghosts? Seriously? I'm so curious. I want to see the ghosts.
Yeah, let's do the ghosts. I'm always interested in a new scam.
I suppose we've seen enough murder hobos in our time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spoiled nobles.
Yeah, I mean this guy's not going to be any less dead tomorrow, so.
That's true.
What do you
The
mean
body-
always? What?
The
Go on.
body may be a little more bloated, but that's okay.
What do you mean always interested in a new scam?
Academically, I mean.
Oh, I didn't know you were a scholar.
Of certain things.
Oh, very interesting. I make a little notes.
Okay. So it is evening, and you have as your sort of starting point a list of the various places, houses that were robbed, and you can decide how you want to approach that. If you want to go together, or you want to split up and canvass things, how you wish to handle it, case the area. What do you want to do?
How big is the area of, like, is it like spread out through the whole district? Is it just in one certain area? Like, how big of an area are we talking here?
Taking a look at the map, it does seem concentrated in a set of 3 or 4 little more upscale residential neighborhoods where people actually have settled into fairly intact houses, single-family dwellings a little more spread out. Probably a couple of neighboring blocks.
Is that so bad?
Yeah, I think we should stick together and visit the houses that have been robbed and try to get an idea if there's perhaps anything in common. If we can figure out if there's some specific object that's being looked for, or some specific reason why apparitions are haunting these particular houses.
All right. So you guys will head over there, and I will say, just to kind of handle this, as you get to these things, and it is evening, you'll move through the streets. In the distance, you can hear the brewfest going on, laughing and cheering, and then a little ways away, you'll probably hear people hurling in the alleys. That sort of mixed sound of that. It sounds like some really bad bards got hired. Maybe a dirge singer. It's really unpleasant and sort of out of tune. But you will wander over to this neighborhood and begin to canvass this area and the people who've been robbed. So how I want to handle this is, I'll say, let's start with two of you can make rolls. You can make investigation roll or diplomacy roll, however you want to handle your approach. So who wants to sort of take the first lead on this?
Okay, I'll do an investigate roll. I've got pretty good investigate.
Okay, so Steve, we're going to start with you. Go ahead and make that roll.
I usually have pretty good investigate.
Okay. So what did you get there, since it's not showing up on my thing?
2.
Okay. So I'm going to give you the basic information that you'll get from the first couple of canvassings, just the sort of the lay of the land. In each case, it seems like the person was in their household. They heard something downstairs, and when they went down, they saw what they can only describe as a spectral figure who was moving through the household, and they fled in most of the cases, or ran upstairs or hid under a bed. Once it got quiet, when they went back downstairs, they found that their cabinets had been ransacked, their silverware had been taken, and most of their other valuables had been gone through. So that's sort of the basics of it. And it's probably about 5 different houses that have been hit. All right, who is next?
Not me. My investigation is not good.
It's investigate or
Diplomacy? Well, actually, how to put this, streetwise would be another one. You can choose however you want to define your approach to this, and pick your skill that would work with it. That will kind of determine the tenor of what you get.
Notice, is that okay, or is that too just?
Yeah, actually, notice is a skill that's sort of checking out the area, doing a perception check. So let's have you make that roll.
And that's 6 dice, or is that
It's
dependent?
4 of the plus dice on Dice Stream.
Okay. 2 see those. Yep.
Yes.
That's 1 plus.
Okay. So 1 plus your skill.
It's just 3.
Okay. You will check out the area and see that there's definitely around the most recent houses, there are that kind of foot traffic in the back alleys that suggests that somebody cased the place beforehand, checked it out. And so there's that kind of tracks there, but the other thing you'll notice is there's also in a couple of the places another pair, actually 2 pairs of tracks that are very odd. One of them, the foot is almost like a clawed foot, like a gnarled bare foot for one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the other foot set of footprints seems to be wet, like it was oozing something, and the substance is dried in the footprint there.
Ew.
So I'm going to also, this is some of the ways I handle investigation, so I'm also going to let you ask a question with that roll. What else do you want to know from this?
question. Well, where did they go? Or come from?
It looks like the sort of casing tracks kind of vanish off into the street, and they will kind of move into the more the sort of urban thing, and tracing them is a little bit harder. You can, if you wish, find essentially the trail that leads more towards the pair of two odd sets of tracks. And so we'll say that right now you have, if you wish to pursue that, you guys have where that is going.
Okay.
Seem reasonable?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're looking for a werebear and a wereghost and a were-creature from the Black Lagoon, it looks like.
Could be.
That's jumping to conclusions a bit.
Let me come to Chuka and Ralph. What do you want to do investigation-wise here with these people?
Just hanging around there, popping my head behind them. It's like, what is he? What is he? Sort of like being Snoopy.
All right. Anything you want to make skill-wise roll that you could think of there?
Well, my street-wise is only 2. Investigate is only 1. My unarmed is pretty good.
That would involve beating people for witness statements there.
Yep. Not gonna go
Do you
there.
want to try and strong-arm the locals?
I've got magic is 3. Charm is 3. I could go charming people and get them to talk a little bit more than they actually wanted to talk.
Sure. Do you want to try that?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make that roll.
So 3 dice because it's +3, right?
Nope. You roll 4 of the plus dice, and then you add your number to what comes up here.
Oh wow! Then it's 4. Yay!
Yes. So, Istvan, you kind of cased things out and talked to people and got them, but you will notice that Chuka the gnome certainly puts people more at ease. You're playing sort of bad cop a little bit. She can play good cop, and you will get them to more carefully go through their witness statements and mention things. And you will note that in a couple of the cases, they mentioned things that weren't stolen. And in particular, it looks like the thief was avoiding anything made of brass.
Interesting.
And that seems to be a common denominator amongst them. The other common denominator that you'll pick up when you sort of go back and ask them if anything unusual occurred, trying to link them up, a couple of them will mention having been visited by essentially a traveling salesperson within the last few days, a mendicant selling essentially night soil perfume, a substance he claimed that could be used to remove any odor or scent from their night soil, i.e. their poop in the house. So nobody bought any of this, but they will mention this figure a couple of times. Andrea, what's your tact?
Oh, I am not a very investigative person, it seems. Let's do a stealth roll. With the idea, if I were going to do a B&E here, how would I go about it?
Oh, that seems interesting.
You're a profiler.
Yeah.
That's a 4.
Ooh. The thing that will surprise you as you move around to these houses and check the different places out is there's no sign of forced entry on any of them. No marks of tools, no classic second story bags or operations or even the telltale marks of lockpicks, anything like that. Instead, it honestly looks to you like they walk up to the wall and walk through it. The tracks kind of go up, and then in a different place you'll actually see tracks that kind of come out. Now, you're not sure why ghostly footprints, but they are clearly passing through these walls.
And you laughed at my wereghost theory.
I said it was a bit presumptuous. Now less so.
All right, so what's your guys' plan now? I assume you guys will kind of meet up and huddle up.
So you managed to actually see where the prints are going?
I think I can follow the tracks for a bit longer.
Maybe we should do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the wereghosts.
And perhaps we should keep a lookout for the seller of night soil perfume. I don't think he'll have a permit.
Why? If you want to buy some?
No.
It seems a bit odd that all these houses have been visited by this person. It's a good way to scope out the inside of a house, I would suppose.
It is. Although he could be selling something more interesting.
So, you guys gather together. You want to try and follow these tracks through the streets, see if you can discern where they're headed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it is evening here. The city streets kind of twist and round, broken flagstones. The wet sort of tracks are a little bit easier to follow, so that seems reasonable. Why don't, since you're the person following this, sort of has the lead, Glyneth, why don't you make another notice roll for me?
I will. That's +3.
Oh, geez. You guys will follow along. You're walking carefully. I'm going to have somebody actually make now a stealth roll for me. Who wants to make that? Who hasn't rolled?
I think we've all rolled.
Okay. Who wants to make the stealth check for the group?
I've got really bad stealth. My stealth is only +1, so anybody got any better?
I've got a +2.
Okay.
I do as well. You go ahead, Stephen.
All right.
You're our rogue.
Okay, so 2.
Okay, so success and decent. You're following the tracks along. Again, you're in another residential neighborhood. A few of the houses have light coming out of them. Some of them are dim. And you will kind of come around, and as you are following the tracks, and you're probably across the street, so you're a good ways away, you will see this house, and you will see that there are 2 shadowy figures standing beside the house. Can't really make out their details, but it does seem like the tracks lead to them. It does seem like they are out this household. It's not one of the houses that's been robbed, and they are standing outside it. How do you guys wish to handle this? They haven't seen you.
Who are we seeing standing there?
Hmm?
Who was actually standing there?
All we see is the 2 shadowy figures. You can't make them out. There's no light on them right now.
Okay.
Are we like? Are they like in an alley or just on the street or?
So imagine that there's a sort of a gap, maybe a 5-foot wide gap between 2 houses. You're not sure what goes on back behind. Might lead to some other alleys or some ruins, and they are maybe 10, 15 feet inside there. You're not sure if they're standing by a window or what, but there's no light on them.
Okay, maybe we should send 2 people around to the other side of the alley and come at them from both directions.
Oh, that sounds good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'll go.
All right. So Ralph and who else is going to take the long way around?
I'll
I
go
don't
with
like running.
Ralph.
I'm lazy.
Okay.
So
So
short legs.
Such walking.
Ralph and Istvan,
Yeah.
Now I'm going to have you guys. I'll have Ralph now make a stealth check as you guys make your way back around.
4.
Oh, you are super quiet, moving carefully through here, stepping around. There's cats that cross your path, but you don't step on them, and you don't knock over garbage cans, and you make your way around. You kind of peek around the corner, and it looks like the other group is in position. The two figures are kind of standing there. One is sort of shorter and more hunched, and the other a little bit taller, maybe just looks like a normal dude. So how do you guys want to engage them? Which group wants to do the call out?
I make a nod to Shoka. I say, let's go. And then we can do our typical cop thing of, what's going on here then? Any trouble?
All right.
What do we think we're doing?
Let me ask a question. What do you guys think you're doing light source-wise? Do you have lanterns, torches, magic, continual light things you can activate? What do you think you have?
I would say some magical, because it makes sense for a gnome to have some magical little ball or whatever.
Okay.
Or maybe
So
something
you've got
that keep my hair up there. They are actually producing light when I want them to.
I
So you
have a
have a little-
non-flammable light source.
Okay, so like little in your hair headlamps that you can
Yeah.
light off, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So you will move to the mouth of the alley. You can see, the other guys have made their way into position, and you will hit them with the light and sort of shout out. And when the light goes on, you will see standing there a short, wrinkled figure, kind of clawed hands, leathery skin, sort of weird, tight-skinned face, teeth that are clawed out, all sort of dust and hair covered by a hood, and yet gleaming bright blue eyes that goes kind of startled, and standing beside, it looks like it might be a woman, is what looks like a zombie, judging by the sort of pus and so on. And the zombie, when it sees the light, kind of goes, "Ugh," and turns and runs.
But she's going to run straight into our powder, so that should be fine.
So the zombie runs. The other figure, the shorter figure, stays. So you guys have illuminated this person. Now, Ralph and Istvan, you will see a figure running towards you. How do you wish to deal with this figure?
I'm going to get my truncheon, and I'm just going to swing at one of his knees.
Okay. And you, Ralph?
Rauv has her blade drawn, and she'll let us Istvan take the first swing.
Okay.
The idea is she's going to swing in and basically intimidate the guy once he's down, or girl when she's down. Something
All
like
right.
that.
So, Istvan, let us have you make your roll for kneecapping this figure.
Oh, poor zombie.
Okay. So
Yeah.
So that's 3 plus 0 is 3.
Oh, yeah. So you will hit this, and there is a more substantial crack than you're used to. And in fact, you're a little disturbed because the leg does swing oddly when you hit it with the thing at a bad angle, and the zombie sort of spins and drops to the ground. And now that you've got a little bit of light hitting it, you can see that it is a zombie, and its teeth are clacking madly, trying to bite. What do you want to do, Ralph?
Rauv steps in and presses her blade to the thing's throat. None of that.
Okay.
So do you want me to roll? I don't know if that's armed or presence.
I think actually presence is going to be the one for this one.
That's fine.
Difficult to convince a zombie. low intelligence, but let's have you.
Oh, that's not so great.
Oh no.
That's not so great at all. So that is a 1.
All right. The zombie is freaked out and is clearly still in bite mode. Meanwhile, back with our gnomish and dwarvish friend, the two short people,
Yes.
also with this woman who's illuminated, you can see that she will put one of her hands up, but the other hand goes up to her face, and you'll see her kind of adjusting her jaw.
Okay.
Did you just see that? What is she doing?
Can you put your hands up, please?
And when she does that, you will see that her jaw kind of drops down.
What?
Oh my
Okay,
god.
like, it's like slack, or
Yeah,
it's literally jumped.
it literally just kind of hangs slack there.
Okay.
I guess she would be allowed to, hang on to that. That looks kind of disgusting.
I'm coming a bit closer just to see if I can, check her out a bit,
Okay.
or maybe use some of my lore. Is she actually a werebear? Because if I will never hear the end of it if she is.
Let me have you make a lore roll for me.
Yes. And that is a 0 plus 3.
She definitely looks like undead, perhaps some sort of undead mage, judging by the sort of her clothing is dusty and worn and aged, and yet you can see it's got the little moons and stars and stuff on it, carefully sewn in there. It looks like a kind of classic wizard's costume, and she does have that sort of sigils. Maybe she's a lich. You're not sure.
I was getting closer, and I was like, no, maybe I'll stay right here.
How do you want to handle this, Chuka?
I'm just gonna ask the thing. Have you been selling unlicensed perfume thingies?
She keeps her hands up, and she'll kind of point one hand to her jaw.
Well, yes, you can, hold your jaw to answer.
But no funny business.
And she'll do that, and she clearly has to help her jaw move to speak. And she'll say, "Good evening, officers."
Well, good evening, but have you been selling the unauthorized, unlicensed perfume things?
No.
Have you been selling something?
No.
What was your business here?
And you guys will hear the sort of the sound of the thrashing zombie back there, and she'll go, "Ah!" And let me cut back to the zombie scene in back. So the zombie is going to try to bite at one of you. It is on the ground, so it is essentially knocked down is the aspect that is on it, and it is going to desperately try to claw at, let's see, you're probably closer, Ralph, so it is going to try and bite you. So there we go. I'm going to roll for this zombie. Oh, so it will try to press itself up to get at you, but it doesn't even get a positive result with that. It's clearly not the most skilled zombie, and it's clearly just trying to bite. It's not even moving its arms to grab you. So, Ralph, let's start with you, and then we'll come to Istvan. What do you want to do?
Oh boy, I have so many options with a gross pussy zombie.
True.
So I think, since it's still clearly trying to bite, we don't really have like an inventory list, do we? No.
You just say what you have.
Okay. Okay. So it's such a pathetic mess, I think, that Rav leans down and she's got like a like the satchel that the briefing orders were in, and
Mm-hmm.
basically shoves that in its mouth.
Okay.
Stop.
All right, let's have you make, what do you think, unarmed or athletic, something like that?
Let's do athletics.
Okay.
Hey, that's
Oh
beautiful.
my
That's a
gosh.
7.
Wow.
You will get this wrapped around its face like a muzzle, and hold it, steadily in place there. And it is set and absolutely bound up. Ishtvan, what do you wish to do? You might be muted though.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I guess I'll just whack it with my whack it on the other knee with my truncheon, and
Okay. Just want to make sure that it's not getting up, or do you want to actually sort of hobble it pretty seriously?
yeah, I think I'm trying to hobble it. I mean, he's
Okay.
resisting arrest.
Guard brutality!
So why don't you make that roll? What is your unarmed?
Well, it would be armed because I'm using the
Oh
truncheon.
yes, that's absolutely, yeah, right.
So 3 + 1 is 4.
Okay, so there will be another substantive zombie leg crack as you knock this one off at an odd angle, and the zombie's eyes will kind of get wide, and it stops thrashing now that it realizes its mouth is covered and bound. So the zombie is locked down. We'll cut back to you two, and she will say, I was looking for someone.
Oh, that's so interesting. Who are you looking for? Perhaps we can help.
There's someone who stole something from me, and I've been trying to find them.
Have you reported this to the guards?
Exactly.
I didn't know there were guards.
Well, perhaps you've just misplaced the item that was lost. Perhaps, if my companion here can maybe search you, they will find it for you.
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think so either.
I didn't want to do it.
So can you please just shake your gown a little bit? Like, just hold it and shake it like this.
And she'll do that, and you will see some bugs fall out. There's a cloud of dust there. And you both have some magical talent, divine magic and more conventional magic. And you will see little sparks of wild magic come off of her when she shakes that.
Okay.
And then you guys will hear from inside the house a shriek. Someone crying out in dismay.
Right.
That can't be good.
So I'm going to start up front with Chuka and Gwyleth. What do you want to do?
Does our lady mage look surprised?
Yes, as you kind of turn to the house, as if that's what she was expecting, or alert was listening for.
Is this, now that she turns around, is this a good time to restrain her in some way? Do we have anything like handcuffs or a bit of rope or?
Absolutely. What kind of restraint do you usually carry with you?
Rope, I suppose.
Okay.
But maybe conveniently already half pre-knotted or anything.
Okay. So you wish to move up and attempt to rope her?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe we would just, lasso her. Like, don't go too near her.
I'm a scribe, not a cowboy.
Let's see. So I think this will either unarmed or
God.
maybe a contest of athletics.
Athletics, it is.
Okay. I'll have her roll. I should probably clear my rules there. So I'm not sure, but my screen is weirdly freezing. I don't know if you see me freezing here.
I saw you like up for a while as well.
Okay, so you can let me roll.
I have a 1 in total.
Okay. I have my fake dice here, so I will roll them since Dice Stream is being obnoxious to me. So she has a 1 as well. So you guys are, you will run up on her and kind of grab her arms and move to do the rope on her. And it's more that you two are both struggling and flailing wildly. She's not a real hand-to-hand combatant. You're not a real hand-to-hand combatant. But the thing that is, there's this cloud of dust and smoke and bugs flying off of her when you do that, and her jaw drops down, and you'll just hear kind of a gurgle of Chuka, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna have to help her, obviously.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna try to hold her down long enough for my friend to actually be able to rope her.
Okay. Do you want to do this with your advanced martial arts training or more with an athletics attempt?
Would unarmed go?
Yes.
With that, then.
Yes. Okay, let's have you make that roll.
That would be 5.
5. So even as you two are struggling and kind of spinning around in this 5-foot alley, bouncing against the walls, knocking around, the gnome will come up and essentially judo sweep the lich and knock it to the ground. And it looks incredibly surprised by this, and she moves with an elegant gnome-like tiny grace as she spins and locks the lich such that you can, on your next action, tie it down. Meanwhile, back in the back, Istvan and Ralph, you've heard this cry from inside the house. What do you want to do?
I think Ralph is probably half already wrestled this thing because she took the minute to shove the thing in its mouth.
Yeah.
So she'll look up at Istvan and say go, and then she'll work at getting this thing trounced up.
Okay.
Yeah, I run and I look for a way into the house, and I've got very good thief score, so I'm optimistic.
Make a thief roll for me.
There we go. I've got a 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For you, it's second nature. Yeah, the pick is in your hand. You run over. You hit the window. You do the little click, flip it open, and roll on into this house. No noise. No pots and pans knocked over. No cat sent screaming. No dogs barking. You are in like Flynn, and you will see through a doorway that there is a person in kind of a nightshirt with the classic little thing with a candle on it that they've dropped. They've got the nightcap on, and they are running. Looks like they're running for the upstairs, and you will see another figure, a kind of a glowing figure that looks like a person, a shape, and more like maybe someone with a great white sheet over them. You can see eye holes cut in the sheet, and they are going. So you've got that position there. Ralph, you have locked down this zombie. It is, we're going to say now, of commission, not terminated, but held. Does that seem reasonable for your action?
Definitely.
Okay. So we come back to the alley, to this colossal fight. The lich is going to attempt to try and focus and use her magics to see if she can extricate herself from this situation.
Did you say that her jaw actually dropped to the ground?
No, it
Like,
just
when it
hung
dropped,
down
it's
far
just
enough
hanging,
that she
You
could
think that
only
would
make
help?
it.
That would hinder her magics, I hope.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay. So we'll say the slack-jawed as an aspect that'll work against her. So we'll invoke that as a -2 on her thing. So she rolled a 3. She's got that with magic. Why don't one of you make an athletics check as a resist against this?
What's your athletics?
I don't think it's as good as your athletics. You were very swift just now.
I've got 2 in athletics.
There you go.
Okay. Roll that.
Oh no, I don't want to. This is not going to go
Yes.
well. No. 3.
3. So she clearly does some magic, maybe some hand gestures with her wrinkled hands, and you'll feel the pull of arcane forces, and she kind of tries to fire herself along the ground away from you, and she ends up just kind of dragging you guys to the mouth of the alley with this, and you guys are still hanging on to her. She's kind of run her half her head along the ground. You'll see that she's lost an ear in the course of that.
Oh no!
And her eyes are kind of wide, freaked out now, unable to get her arcane energies focused.
I will just yell to her that, lady, stop that or I will take your jaw.
And she will hold still at that point. And I assume you wish to then just tie the knots on her then?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll assume got those knots tied, restrained, locked down.
Yes.
Let's come to the ghost inside the house. Why don't you make a stealth roll for me, Istvan, and I'm going to make a notice roll for the ghost.
Stealth 5.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if he can roll all pluses. No, the ghost doesn't even notice you. The person runs up the stairs, and you will see the ghost turn, and you will see a hand reach out from the sheet and start grabbing silverware. What do you wish to do?
Okay, I want to walk up behind him and dramatically pull off the sheet.
Okay.
Awesome.
It was old man spinners all along.
Let's have you make a presence roll for me. I think that's you're trying to kind of do the intimidate. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Or do you want to use something else for it? What do you think?
I mean, mostly I want to see what he looks like under the sheet. But,
Okay. So you'll get the sheet off, but let's have you make a presence roll to see what the effect is for him.
Okay. So that's a 1.
Okay. So you will pull the sheet off, and you will see this guy. It looks like your typical sort of street thug. You see that he's got a couple of bags tied to his belt, and he's a little bit dirty. And the sheet goes away. He kind of looks wide-eyed, and you will notice that he has kind of a gleaming silver ring on. And when you pull the sheet off, you will see that he looks solid to you 1 second, and then he goes, and he's sort of translucent. You can actually kind of see through him at that point. So he's right in front of you. You've got the sheet. He's gone translucent. We're to come to Ralph. What do you wish to do, Ralph?
Well, I'm assuming this guy can't go anywhere with 2 broken legs. Literally.
That would be correct.
Literally. So I'm going to basically drop him. It sounds like the girls up front have everything well in hand. Ish.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to follow Istvan into the house.
Okay. Do you wish to use the back door, or do you want to go in through the window that he popped?
I'll use the back door.
Okay.
I'm more of a bursting through the door sort of person.
Okay. Do you want to kick the door in, or do you
Yes!
want to... Okay.
Yes, I do.
So athletics or unarmed, I think, is appropriate for this.
Okay, we'll do athletics. Oops. So 1.
1. Well, the pit is not the pinnacle of quality. for door construction.
Thank
So you will kick this makeshift door open and sort of move into maybe the little alcovey kitchen type area that Istvan came through, and you will see that Istvan is up, and you'll see this ghostly figure. Though Istvan has a big bed sheet in his hand, and you're not sure what that's about. And this translucent, ghostly form.
Istvan was the ghost all along.
So let me do the actions now for the people who are on scene. Istvan, you will see this guy will actually run at an angle past you, and you see him run into the wall and run through it, and he's clearly running out sort of the back way, running through the walls. So that is his action, is to essentially to incorporeal, ghostly run out of this house. So that's where he is at now. The Lich, she goes still after the threat to her jaw, and she clearly kind of nods her compliance with the demands of the guards there, and will go calm. So let's start out with the more sort of action-oriented scene. Istvan, this guy is taken off, run through the walls. What do you want to do?
I guess chase him.
Okay.
See if I can catch up.
What do you think is the appropriate skill for kind of getting out of this house and running and trying to chase him down? How do you want to do this?
Right. Well, let's see. Well, my thief skill is good for making a quick exit. I mean, if this counts as trying to escape, I even get a +2.
Yeah, let's say that you're trying to burst out quickly on this round. So this will determine kind of how far you can get right behind him. Okay.
Okay.
Make that
Okay. So I've got an 8.
Okay. You will. Your outroll. Another window popped open. Maybe you pocketed some valuables while you went through. An heirloom there, and you are right behind this guy. In fact, you'll kind of swing your arm, and it will pass through him. And he looks back, and even though he's sort of ghostly now, he looks terrified because you are right behind him. So that is, you guys are running through the alley there. Ralph, what do you want to do?
Oh my god, Istvan's so badass.
I know.
So, let's see. I think I'm going to try like a lore check, because how do you catch somebody who's translucent and running through walls?
Okay, let's have you make a lore check.
That is a 1.
Whew. Well, the best you can do is hope that there's a duration to his magical effect, and maybe you can try and cut him off somewhere. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to assume for your move, you'll kind of move out the back door then?
Yeah, grumbling about why they always run.
Okay. Chuka and Willith, the Lich is subdued. What do you want to do?
I will just whisper to how do you pronounce your name? I will just whisper to her. Should we talk to her a little bit more? Just release one of her arms so that she can use her jaw. So I'm kind of interested what she might have misplaced.
All right. Just be on your guard.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll use hers so she can use one hand to
Okay.
talk, essentially.
So you've impressed on her that you guys can subdue her, and she will be very careful as she moves her hand back up to her jaw to be able to speak, and she will say, "You can't let him get away. He has my rings."
Okay, so those rings were the things that were stolen from you.
Yes, yes. Someone, might be adventurers. She says it with a sneer. Adventurers might have come into my laboratory, which has been buried for a long time, and I was in the middle of a nap for the last few decades, and they robbed my cache of rings. I had a set of rings that my former husband Lich had made for me.
And so you hired someone to steal them back?
No, no. The rings, the smaller ones, apparently they're using them to rob places. It allows you to pass through walls.
Oh, that would explain many things. How many rings are we talking?
Well, there are 9 rings that allow them to pass through walls, and then there's a 10th ring to control them.
So we only need to get the 10th one from them, basically.
Yeah,
then they wouldn't be able to.
Yes, they're very dangerous. If you're not a mage, actually, as you're using it, it's burning off your soul.
That's bad. How do we recognize the 10th one? Because if we get that one away from them, they can't be going through the walls anymore.
Oh, it's gold. The other ones are silver. It's very nice. Has a little inscription. A beautiful work done by a dwarven smith, a little serpentine thing with a little kind of Celtic-y knot on the inside, and it's very, very lovely.
How does it work?
Oh, what do you mean work? You put it on. Oh, it allows you to control the person who's wearing the silver rings.
The person?
Yes.
Okay.
Does the person actually have to be wearing all of them to be able to use them?
No. Each ring allows a person to do this. Essentially, if someone were to want to have agents that could pass through a wall, that's maybe why they were made, or just for parlor tricks.
And they can keep on being translucent forever?
No, they can't use it for very long at a time, or bad things happen. So we'll cut from that statement.
Yes.
Back to Istvan. You'll see this guy is still running away from you, and I'm going to make a roll for him. And you're right on him, even as he's running, and as he sort of tries to cut a turn, you're ahead of him. Cut back, you're ahead of him. You see he's gone, even more pale, ghostly sweat coming off of him, and he's spinning around, and you will see him actually kind of now stumble and begin to fall. But still translucent. Istvan will come to you. What do you want to do?
Okay, since they haven't been stealing brass, I'm going to test a theory and take a swing at him with some brass knuckles.
Okay, why don't you make an unarmed roll?
Okay, that's +2.
So you will pull your brass knuckles, drop them onto your hand, and you will swing down, and you will catch him right across the jaw, and he will drop to the ground, and even as he sort of hits, you'll see wisps of vapor kind of coming off of him as he hits the ground. And it looks like he's actually disintegrating.
Oops. You may not be able to question him.
Ralph, I assume you're kind of following up behind Istvan?
Yep.
You will get up on this scene. You will see that Istvan clocks this ghost across the jaw with brass knuckles. The ghost drops, and he's kind of on the ground and beginning to disintegrate. What do you want to do?
Oh, what in the name of all the gods did you do to him? Oh my god, I have no stopping disintegration from happening skill. I don't know.
Try taking off the silver ring.
All right, I can sure do that.
Okay. I'm going to move over and see if you can grab this silver ring that's on his finger.
Yep.
Okay. I think that's going to be another athletics roll.
Okie dokie. So that is a 3.
Okay. You kind of get it and kind of reach down, and he kind of looks up at you with sort of terrified, stark, fearful eyes, and he starts to become sort of solid even as he's disintegrating, and you'll kind of grab that silver ring off of his finger, and there'll be this kind of echoing cry as you pull it off, as it almost sounds like his soul kind of ripping away into the distance, caught by the wind there. And then and the body is gone. But you have the ring.
Yay! First win.
A lot of dust
the
here
last
now.
time I listened to you.
So 8 more.
May I assume that you guys we can kind of cut to you guys gathering back together?
Yes.
Does that seem reasonable?
Okay. And, question: what happened to the bags that were at his belt?
Oh, they are there on the ground.
Yeah. So we bring those along and inspect them.
Okay. Silverware, a few valuables, trinkets, minor stuff. Your assessing eye can gauge how much you could fence that for pretty easily. I have to actually take a quick bio break.
I think we all
move
do.
on to this next scene.
For tea.
All right.
Back, guys.
It is a little dry in the house.
Yeah, it gets that way this time of year.
Yeah. So to make it appropriately cinematic and police procedural,
Procedurals.
we'll cut the scene to you guys back at the station.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your station, you used to have a brilliant large guard station, but your Charles, when he took over here, sold that off and bought a less nice building for you to be in. So it's still sort of halfway under construction, but we'll cut to you guys back in what passes for your interrogation room with this matronly aged lich seated at a small table.
It's a glass of water.
Yes. There was a disturbing bit a while ago when she took some time to clearly rebolt her jaw so that she didn't have to hold her jaw when she spoke. And she is sitting sort of calmly, perhaps nervously around. You begin to realize that she's a little deaf and very, very nearsighted. So she kind of has to squint with those brilliant blue eyes. It's the most living thing, but she does squint with them when she's trying to figure out who's talking with her. And she seems pretty calm, and she sort of holds still, and so we cut to the scene with you guys speaking to her, asking your questions. How do you wish to proceed?
Well, you guys have already built up kind of a rapport with her, right?
Yes, but let's assume we've already filled you in on the details we already got.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys might be better to lead off the interrogation.
No.
But she seems like she's cooperating, so you don't really need me to strong arm her.
Right. I mean, I want to know how she knew that that house was going to be robbed.
That's a very good question.
Well, I've been walking about in the shadows in the evening. I don't much care for daylight. It's bad for my complexion, and so in the evenings I've been moving around, and I ran across one of them and had an encounter with him, and then I've been trying to track the other ones, figuring that they would continue this set of ghostly robberies. I saw the person portraying a ghost move through the wall, and I followed them, and I was waiting outside the house. I thought perhaps I could lay magicks upon them when they exited.
And you did not alert the city guard because you were not aware of the city guard's existence?
Oh, well, the last time I was up and walking around was when the lizard men held the city, and they didn't have guardsmen. Mostly they had the people enslaved, the serpent lords, and that was probably, it was a while ago. Things have seriously changed since then, and I was only up for a few days, as I don't much care for serpent men. They're very, very lizardy. No offense to anyone.
None taken.
So, yes, I didn't realize there was a guard.
I got that. And you were asleep when these rings were stolen? From your...
From my lab.
Lab, yes, not lair.
Lab, crypt, these are interchangeable terms. I was having a bit of a lay down, and so usually I would have had some magicks to alert me and awaken me when intruders entered, but this whole business with the pit and things falling down seems to have thrown off my protections. It was only after they were lifted that I was able to realize that they were gone and awaken.
And when did this happen?
Oh, gosh, perhaps a week and a half ago? 10 days?
When did the body of the body of the adventurer found?
That was probably about 3 days ago.
And is this your zombie?
Yes, that was kind of an accident.
Accident?
You accidentally made a zombie?
Yes. When I crossed paths with the first one of these people, these thieves, who was using the ring, I accosted him, but I may have been overzealous in my magical magicking, and he was zombified. I've kept him around. Tried to keep him tame. He's a little bitey, but reasonable. And I was able to get the ring off of him, so I have one of them.
Well, ma'am,
So you have one, and we have one, so there are 7 still out there.
Plus the one ring to rule them all.
Right.
And you can't unzombie him somehow?
Oh, I could, but that would he would be
Not survive the process.
just dead at that point. I think any of you could unzombie him.
Quite.
well, ma'am, you should know that oh my God, I forgot. Necromancy. Necromancy is illegal in this city.
It isn't licensed. I can't get a license. Perhaps pay a fine for that.
That's above our pay grade, ma'am. Subsection 1A.
You will have to take it up with the judge.
See, I have a necromantic license from a previous administration. I could go back to my crypt and get it. I have the proper paperwork.
I'm afraid there was, after the lizards left the city, the paperwork requirements changed, so it's probably not up to date.
Yeah, they may grandfather you in. That's not up to us.
Certainly, well, I'd be more than willing to go through the administration on that.
Yeah,
and
we can send some
kind of
uniforms down to collect that from your abode.
You might maybe not want to send random people down in there. Before I left, I may have placed a few defenses, so I'd have to go and get that. I do have a question on that note. Do we still have to get paperwork on monsters?
It depends on whether they're exotic or dangerous.
Gelatinous cube?
You would need to register that.
Yes.
Certainly. So that's more paperwork I'd need to fill out on that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I mean, we would be happy to accompany you and take an inventory of your crypt, catalog your magical creatures and so forth once we have time. But
Sure.
I mean,
Right now we're on this case.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I want to be whatever help I can be in this process.
Is there any way to try and track the rings? Are they leaving any kind of residue or whatever behind them? Anything?
When I get within a close distance, I'm able to sense their power, but I haven't been able to track them further than that. They're made to be a little more subtle, which works against me in this way. By the way, I'm Gistigal.
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 You will have to write that down for my paperwork, or at least spell it out.
Oh, and she will write it out in you will recognize this as the same handwriting as doctors and wizards have, where you have to look at it very carefully to determine what
Doctors
she's
and
written.
wizards. I know that handwriting for all my prescriptions.
Yes. And the zombie, does the zombie have a name?
I don't know the zombie's name. I know he's one of the party that entered my tomb. I would assume if he had the ring.
All right, we'll just put down Bob.
Fair enough.
Bob.
Oh, Bob.
And we'll assume that you have Bob contained in a cell here. Chrysanthemus has probably got a big stick and he's kind of drunkenly poking at him, but otherwise the zombie is secured.
Occupational therapy.
Yes.
And because of the rings, you were able to sense which house would be burgled?
Well, once I got within a certain, maybe 10, 15 meters, I was able to sense that the ring was nearby, and I followed it.
Is that something to do with your magical abilities, or is that something to do with possessing one of the rings?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I just could sense it. The most recent thing, it might actually be a ring thing, now that you say that. Sorry, I'm a little absent-minded. It has been a while since I walked around.
But you did mention that it's not good for your soul to be wearing those rings.
Oh, yes, if you're not magically trained, it's probably a bad idea, since it does wear you out and make you hollow eventually.
So every time we take a ring off, is the wearer going to disappear?
Not if he hasn't worn out his soul already.
Perhaps the thieves are not aware of this procedure.
I suspect not.
And I take it brass interferes with the intangibility effect somehow?
Oh yes, it's vulnerable to brass.
Yes. So we probably don't want to use brass if we run across another one of these guys, and we just want to wait for it to wear off for them to become intangible again, because we need to question somebody.
Oh.
Yes, we need to
But
find.
we finally had an opportunity to use the brass knuckles.
Yes, yeah, well.
Yeah.
It might not be such a bad idea to keep her with us if she can sense the rings and she can wear the rings without any problems.
Right. Well, I think I should. I mean, I'm going to check my street network and see if I can track down this mendicant who's been casing the houses.
Okay. So we're going to kind of move to a more investigative procedures then. Does that seem reasonable?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So Stephen, we'll start with your tactic, using your streetwise network to try and track down about this mendicant night soil perfume seller. All right. Why don't you make that streetwise roll?
Okay, that's a -3.
Oh,
I think I have no luck whatsoever.
oh my god.
Don't want to do a reroll? A tag and aspect? Do you have something that would work?
Yeah. Right. So let's see. Well, let's see. New to city life, sort of the opposite of.
Exactly.
Yeah. Surprisingly light on my feet. Underestimated foreign rogue, which
Yes.
I guess that's the only thing that's even.
You get arrested for trying to buy illegal substances. That one happens.
Right. I mean, I'm walking around, and I'm being so incredibly obvious that people underestimate me, and I'm playing up my foreign accent, and I'm pretending not to understand what people say, so that they feel free to talk in front of me.
All right. So I'll let you make a reroll. That'll cost you one of your fate points.
Okay, so that gets me up to a 1.
Okay. So perhaps a Thieves Guild member will kind of take pity on you, since you seem like a foreign thief who has lost his way here, and he talks with you very slowly and repeats himself quite a bit. And he will say that he heard that a guy named Tarnish was pulling some kind of scam with selling some sort of patent medicines around, and that might be the guy you're looking for.
Yes, yes. Tarnish. He my sister-in-law. Tarnish. Yes.
Sister.
Sister. Is that right? Uncle.
Brother-in-law. And he'll essentially tell you that Tarnish is the
yes, brother-in-law, cousin of my wife.
If you ask around, you use that name, you might be able to find him. Tarnish.
Tarnish.
Excellent. Well, welcome to the city. Welcome to Abashan. So you'll get that piece of information.
Oh God.
What's the next tactic?
I'm hitting the files at the guard post of, you know, everything that's come in for the past 2 weeks that might be explained by people running around through walls semi-transparently. Hitting the crank files.
Let's do the lore check.
That's a 0 on my roll and a plus 3.
Plus 3. It does seem like...
And the back channel stunt, I think, but I'm not sure.
Okay, to make it quick.
Yeah, why not? I get a 2 plus 2 bonus, so that's a 5.
Oh yeah. So you will go through the paperwork. The notes from the other 2 guard crew come through this station, and then Adara
Basically,
files them.
I'm hoping to pinpoint where their activity is.
All right. It does look like there are a couple of other robberies in that area where somebody didn't see a ghost, but there's no reports of break-in that might be attached to this. It looks like they're smartly hitting a neighborhood that is pretty well off. So you kind of get that geographic sense. There will be a crossover that you will see that they raided a particularly unsavory fence just a few days ago, and some of the goods from a couple of the robberies apparently turned up in the inventory there. So there's a fence that's in the cells right now who apparently has dealt with some of these goods.
Okay. What's his name?
The fence's name is Tower Durm.
So they raided him and dumped stuff there, is what you're saying.
So your another one of the guard units raided this fence. And when they did an inventory, they found some of the stolen goods there.
Okay.
Chuka?
I guess I will just go back to where the houses that were already robbed, and I will just go from door to door asking from the neighboring houses if somebody has been trying to sell them something.
Okay.
Like perfume.
Okay. Go ahead and make a charm roll.
Oh no, that's -1. No, that's actually 0.
0. So not a complete failure. You could, if you have one of your aspects that you think applies to this approach, you could spend a point.
Sincerity opens the way. So I am being very sincere and nice to everybody, and they can see that I'm just really genuinely wanting to help them.
All right. Why don't you make a reroll then?
Right, my charm is 3, and so that's 2. It's
Okay.
way better than 0.
So you'll kind of canvas around now that you're certain that this mendicant door-to-door seller person is the person who is sort of setting this up. And I will say you'll be able to locate probably 3 other houses, given that Gweleth has kind of narrowed down the setup. 3 other houses you think are pretty likely targets. They were visited by the mendicant. They are in the geographic area, and they have decent goods. So you have that in hand.
I sent a stakeout.
Yes.
Does that seem reasonable?
Yes, absolutely.
And we'll wait a moment for Andrea to reboot here.
All right, yeah.
I have no idea how long this is going to take. I switched them
Oh,
up.
okay.
But
So how do you want to handle this?
well, I was going to lean on a fence, and since we happen to have one conveniently located in a cell, I want to.
Okay.
He's ready for leaning.
So you will head down there to the cells. There's a little underground dungeon here. You've got some slack-jawed yokel guards that are hired to essentially watch over people. They're probably playing cards. And they'll direct you back to the cell where this fence is at, and he'll look up. He is tiny, but immaculately dressed. I mean, just perfect coat, everything, little dandy, dirty fingernails, yellow teeth, but just immaculately dressed. And he will look up at you. Hello, guardsman.
What was his name again?
Tower.
Tower?
Tower.
Mr. Tower.
Yes.
Or you about some of the items we found in your possession?
All legal transactions, very carefully ascertained. I don't know why I was pulled in on this.
Save it for the judge. I want to know if you got him.
A, which goods, and B, you do understand that there's a certain discretion in my line of business?
And you understand I don't care.
I'm starting to understand that, yes.
And she produces the list of whatever items it was he had that matched the descriptions of stolen goods.
All right, what do you want to roll for your social tact on putting the lien on him?
Presents, please. And if someone could roll for me, I have a +3.
Someone roll.
I can do that.
Yay!
If it was +3, then it's 4.
Oh, very good. Let me see if I'm going to sneeze.
Gesundheit.
Bless you.
I was good on the mute there on that one.
Oh, and we just lost Andrea.
Okay, we'll wait for her to reboot here in just a second. I did get my Origins hotel room reservations done, so all set on that.
It feels so weird to be thinking hotels for something that is happening next summer.
Yeah.
Well, instead you can focus on a list of games that Red Lowell has to run for us.
Right. I'm going to go through all of his collection.
Oh, God.
Changing the losses at the top, but anyway.
Well, Sherry would be very excited about that. Anything that gets me running more games is high on her priority list.
Excellent.
So you will lean in on him, pulling on his collar of his fine coat, putting him back into the corner. What makes you terrifying with your high presence?
So she's a duelist, so she's not physically like huge or anything, but she's got that real quick kind of grace, that kind of cat-like personality where she's leaning on him, and she kind of plays with his collar a little bit, and well, it'd be a shame if these got torn. These are actually pretty nice.
Hit him where it hurts.
And pulling on a loose thread, and eventually, please, the person that you want is a guy named Nikos. He has a little group of friends. They're a pseudo gang. He has 4 or 5 buddies who kind of work for him, and they do things. He was the one who brought me, or rather, his assistants are the ones that brought me these goods.
Hmm. And you know where I can find him?
Well, I understand that he has managed to carve out a little section for himself in the palace, up on the 7th floor. That he has a little hideout there. Pushed some of the other people out and took that over.
I'm assuming I know what the palace is.
The palace is a lost sort of underground palace that was uncovered, and when they uncovered it, it was sort of stripped bare already, but a lot of people moved in. So it's a densely packed apartment complex.
Got it. Well, you've been very helpful, Mr. Tower.
He'll name some of the other people. He will name Tarnish as one of Nikos's people, and he'll give you a couple of other names as well.
Okay.
All right.
I'll straight notice for him.
Okay. So we'll assume you guys will meet together and sort of trade info. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes.
Okay. How do you all wish to proceed?
So we have 3 houses where they possibly hit again, and I think it would be safer to go there in pairs. So that leaves 1 without anybody, unless we can find some other guards we can send there.
We can ask the boss if we can requisition a few, but
I don't want to talk to her. She scares me.
yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, I can case the houses and try to figure out which ones. In my extensive police experience, I can decide which ones I think a thief would be most likely to rob.
You have extensive police experience?
Yeah. I mean, where I come from, the place that I left very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
For unstated reasons.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
Also, not a werebear, so I think you owe me a bagel.
Well, we still don't know. Nikos could be a werebear.
I think it's getting extremely unlikely at this point.
So your guys' intent, as I understand it, if I can kind of distill this, is you want to set up a stakeout, make an assessment, and try and catch
Them
1
in the
or
act?
2 more of these guys. Does that seem reasonable?
Well,
Yes.
it's either that or running into the palace and trying to arrest all of them, but since they have transparency rings that we can't really stop and that they can kill themselves with, that doesn't seem like a nice idea? I don't know. If we can thin them out a bit by arresting them at the house, then at least we have less people to deal with when we go to the palace.
Okay. So your intent then is to catch one or two more of these guys, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So.
Right. Plus, if we catch them in the act, then we've got evidence against Nikos.
Evidence
And
is always useful.
Right.
so you have the advantage that you know that brass works against them. It does stop them, so you have that as an advantage.
Right.
Um,
Right. But we want to capture them and not disintegrate them because we
But
want we both want testimony. Plus, we want captives that we can tie to Nikos' gang.
but it will just
Okay.
disrupt the effect, I think, right? Or would it actually kill them straight away?
It doesn't actually cause them direct harm, but it will actually interact with them. They can't physically
Okay.
move through
Oh,
brass.
okay.
That's
So,
it.
That guy was just already too far gone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't
It
actually
was
know
the brass knuckles that to the face that sort of removed him from this mortal coil.
Okay.
So let's kind of abstract this then. So let's start with Istvan. Your part in this is sort of setting up, figuring out exactly where they would come from and how they would do this approach.
Right,
So let's have you start.
Right, and set up entrance routes into the houses. I mean, conveniently unlocked windows and so forth.
Okay.
Because I don't think
But they don't need it. They can just walk through the wall.
I don't think the thieves are even going to check for that, but it could come in handy
For later.
for later. Yes. So,
Why don't you make a thief roll?
okay, so that's 2 + 4 is 6.
Okay, so 6. So essentially, you've got a couple of aspects that you've put on the area, known pathways and lockdown, let's say, something like that, are on the zone here. So why don't you tell me when? Let's say that you do see one of these guys come in. What is sort of going to be the general, just vaguely general approach that you guys are going to take to catch him?
I was thinking we'd actually stake out inside of the houses.
Yeah.
Okay, so inside the houses.
If someone
anyone
could
do
convince
this?
them, people,
Okay.
let them do it.
So Chuka, let's have you make a charm roll to get the locals to buy into this particular plan.
That's a Jew.
Okay. You'll talk to them. Some of them are a little hesitant, but they've heard about the ghosts, and there's been lots of strangeness with the divine magic and stuff. So, they'll let you come in and do that. And inside the houses, you're going to have to consider yourself. So either Ralph or Gwillis should make a stealth roll for me.
I'll have Guelph do that.
I got it.
I have another thing that I want to do.
For reasons. So
Why
that
am I
is
surrounded by criminals?
not a criminal.
I'm not a criminal.
So what have you got there?
A 3.
Okay, so you've got the area case down. You've got some of your other little peon guardsmen in strategic places. You're inside the likeliest house. You're set up there. You're hidden well. So tell me, Gwilith, when this ghost thief comes through, becomes solid in here, how is it that you guys are taking him down? I'm going to have you choose, and you're going to make the roll. And you can pick your method.
Well, I actually went through the guards' reserves and tried to locate all the brass weapons or projectiles that I could find.
Okay.
But some brass chains would be good too, if we can.
For instance.
Okay.
Right. I mean, if we can get it like a chain around him, then just stop him from running.
All right. So let's have you. This is about you having ready the particular items that work for this. And let's see. What do you think is the appropriate role to represent your preparedness on it?
Good question. I guess lore is a bit weird.
What do you think about
Armed?
that?
But that's also, still have to get the stuff or investigate. I don't know. Commerce.
Well, you want to do commerce on that? essentially that you have bought enough stuff that you can completely lock him down.
Okay.
That you can talk to merchants.
Yes.
All right.
That seems fair.
So make that roll for me.
That's 4 in total.
Okay. So you guys are all have succeeded with style. Got that set up, got it locked down in the place, and there is that bit when he kind of comes forward and you guys pop out, brass everywhere, chains and knives and so on. You come out from every nook and cranny, and this guy goes, woo, and you'll see in the sheets the hands come up. And
we take him down.
You will lock him down. You'll pull the sheet off, and you will get his name, and it is in fact a guy named Tarnish.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems to have the most clean teeth of the gang, so that's why he's sent out to go door to door.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got him locked down. You'll get the ring off of him, so you have another one. He doesn't disintegrate when you do that.
Oh,
That's good.
I assume that you guys hang on to this ring rather than
Yes.
returning it to the lich.
Yeah.
Yes. For now.
Evidence.
All right. And we cut again to the interrogation room with this guy, terrified. You manhandled him and thrown him in there. You throw the sheet down on the table in front of him.
Tell us about your operation.
Why don't you make that presence roll? I want to see exactly how much you scare him at the start of this.
Scared a ghost.
4.
4.
Wow.
So there, you see him kind of adjust himself to keep himself from peeing himself, and he will. We got some magic items, and we've been using them to do some lifts. We had to.
You had to?
Yeah. Our boss has gone a little nuts.
How so?
We got these rings. We found them in this dungeon that was really very well decorated for a dungeon. And we got down in there, and we found this box of rings, and then we saw this sort of looked like a coffin or maybe a couch, we're not sure, start to move. So we got out, and my boss, Niklos, he took the gold ring, and he gave the rest of us the silver ones.
Mm-hmm.
It was only like a day or so later that we discovered that once we had him on, he could command us. We couldn't take him off voluntarily.
And what has he been making you do?
We're getting, we're stealing, and then we're using that. We're fencing that and bringing back the money and buying things he's telling us to buy.
What kind of things are you buying?
Weird shit. I don't understand why he wants this stuff.
Can you be a little more specific?
Eye of Newt, and dragon bone tails, and deep mushrooms, and elf root, and drake scale. It's all kinds of kind of janky stuff. And he's cackling a lot. Lot of cackling and maniacal stuff. And then just yesterday he made a zombie.
Another one.
It's the first one I've seen him make. But yeah.
Who is the Vic?
Just somebody else in the palace. I'm afraid he's gonna like try and turn everybody to zombies.
So
Must be Tuesday.
do you know where he is?
Yeah, he's up in the I think it's called the Sandalstone wing of the palace, up on the 7th floor. He's got that kind of held off, and he's set up some sort of laboratory or thing there.
Laboratory. I hear they're all the rage.
Are they?
Hmm?
We're going to need a complete list of those ingredients you said you purchase.
Yes.
Okay. And you'll put the paper in front of him, and he'll think and write that down, and get that together.
Excellent.
And pass that back to you.
How many people are with him at any certain point?
Well, there's only one more of the gang left. But then he's got a zombie, so just the two, unless he's made some more.
All right.
And that doesn't account for all the rings, though.
No.
Oh, he's got the rest of the rings on him.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe he'll dole some off to get some more agents since he can control them, but he hasn't done that yet. You know, they're kind of precious to him.
All right.
And you have no idea why he's gathering all these ingredients.
No, I mean he's not a magic user. He's just a high-level street thug. So I don't know how the hell he made a zombie.
Does he know a magic user?
No, magic users are kind of, the only magic users that are down here are crazy murder hobo guys or apprentices that got kicked out by their dads.
Hey.
Oh, sorry, no offense, but weird shit happens when wizards are around.
Ain't that the truth? All right.
So we're square.
Well, we still have you down for theft, breaking and entering, and fencing.
Is it technically breaking and entering? I didn't break anything.
Entering.
Oh, fair enough.
But I'm sure you can explain to the judge how you were mind controlled at the time.
Oh, yes. And you will walk him down to the cells where he will go and sit sulkily.
Do you ladies want to check with your new friend about this list of ingredients?
I suppose.
You mean? Yeah. We should.
Unless you happen to know what these are all for.
Not really.
How is your dad, by the way?
So we will cut to.
Gisticle.
She is in the reception area. You can see that she is sitting there. Tea has been brought to her. You can see that the Judge Brysantimus is sitting across the way, chatting with her drunkenly. He smells of gin and anything else street liquor-wise. He may have been to the beer fest, so that's wafting off with him. Very clearly doesn't realize that she's some sort of lich, and he's just sort of drunkenly prognosticating and perhaps even hitting on her as he does this. And she's sitting there very politely, nodding, and she looks up at you with some relief as you come in. Oh, did you find anything?
Yes. We hate to interrupt you, but we
Oh,
have
no, it's
something
fine.
to
She
discuss.
pushes her chair back. She kind of steps. So, should we go somewhere else?
Yes, that might be best.
Excellent. Oh, good. Oh. So what did you find?
What did we find?
we-
Find all sorts of things.
Yes.
Well, we found there is some person who is wearing your control ring, or the control ring, and he seems to be gathering a lot of spell ingredients. We have a small list, well, rather large list we would like you to look at.
Oh, Oh, she'll look at it. Oh, oh, oh dear. Oh, oh, oh dear. Oh, oh dear.
Do you have any other comments on this list?
Well, see, I recognize the stylings and the what this is for. I,
Time is
it's,
of the essence, ma'am.
oh, so yes, it's various poultices, potions, tonics of that sort to create an army of the undead.
Ah, indeed.
So I may not. So I mentioned to you that the ring, the one gold ring, was sort of made by my husband, kind of a wedding ring.
Mm-hmm.
See, we had a divorce, and it didn't go well. And when I killed him, I thought it was all gone. But this is sort of his handiwork, so I'm a little afraid that he might be possessing whoever is wearing this ring.
Aha. You should have mentioned that earlier.
I just didn't thought it was a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
He won't be able to cast in that body. He'll need to get an actual wizard to do that.
He has already raised one zombie.
Oh, well.
Would he have been able to do that unassisted by a wizard?
With these ingredients, yes. He used alchemical means, I'm guessing.
All right.
As long as he isn't in some populated place, you should be all right.
I exchange a look with Chuka. I think we need to go. Thank you for your assistance.
Oh, more than welcome. Is there anything else I can do? Did you find some of the rings?
No, I think that would be it.
Oh, all right. Well, can I wait here rather than out there?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
I wonder
All right.
why.
How do you guys wish to proceed?
Hastily.
Yeah, I think we need to take them down fast and hard.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Do we know that the brass will actually work with that ring too? Before we go there and find out that it's not?
Might be a good thing to figure out.
She'll say it should work. You'll need to get the ring off his finger. And that may be difficult.
Not as difficult as you may think.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything? So what I'm hearing is that you guys are going to trundle together and rush over to the palace.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Correct on that? Are there any preparations before you head out I should know about?
That's kind of a leading question. There should be.
Yeah, very leading question.
No, I want to give you the opportunity. There's something a clever stratagem. My wife always goes and gets nets. Goes into every problem is in
nets.
I love Sherry.
We already have brass chains. Or
yeah,
I don't know.
You do have the chains. You guys have made those preparations.
Are we taking the rings and like?
What would we do with them?
What? Yeah, actually, yeah, exactly. He would be able to control us if we wear them.
Right.
So.
True. Yes, he can. Let's not do that.
Well, and also they'll suck out our souls. Well, they won't suck out your souls, but...
I'm not sure how long you've been doing this job, but it doesn't seem so different than normal.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I have some brass pliers to get the ring off his finger.
All right. Pliers or clippers? Okay, we got some tools arrayed of that kind. And you guys will take off, head across the landscape. The beer fest is just now ending. You know, it's getting on the witching hour. It's past midnight. It's been going on for a couple of days now. It's tailing off, and you'll wander through those crowds, get across nice full moon beaming down into the pit.
When we go past that, I want to buy something very strong, something that I can throw into that Nikolaus or whatever his name is in ice. That's something that really sting his eyes.
Okay. So you want to find a particularly horrible beverage?
Yes.
All right. So well, I'll hand wave that and say that you will get the last dregs from one of these casks that's sort of reddish and has all kinds of little bitlets in it, globs and chunks and things, and it has a foul, sort of acidic odor to it, and it smells like strawberries as well. On top of that, so
Strawberry again.
locked down. So we take up, the scene sort of passes, and we take up with you guys coming into the palace. There is a 25-foot doorway to this with great stone doors that have been sort of fallen off the hinges. And you walk in, and there is a kind of an atrium that opens up, a sort of open hallway, and then you can kind of see the levels going up on the palace and go off to the stairs. And there is a little marketplace set up in here. It's pretty quiet right now since it's 1, 2 in the morning. You'll see people sleeping in the corners, things like that. Smell the smoke of fires, and you will start to make your way, I assume, up to the 7th floor.
Yes.
And back to that wing. Okay. So let's start with who wants to make the appropriate stealth roll to keep your presence as quiet as possible.
Either me or Steven, right?
Yeah, not me.
Yes.
Do it.
Okay.
That's a 2.
That's it too. So very quiet. You move past various rooms and things like that. And once you kind of move down to the wing that he mentioned, you're actually, it's narrow hallways, tight rooms. The palace is very weirdly set up. It actually has 15-foot high ceilings, so like 5-meter high ceilings, and then the rooms are actually just like about 10 feet or 3 meters high. So there's this weird gap between these stone rooms and the ceiling in this area.
Mm-hmm.
But lots of stuff out in the hallways. You can see places where various tree roots, or roots, as somebody might say, are overgrown into the hallways and so on, and things are broken up. And you will come to a stop. You're about halfway to the final block, and you will see that the sort of blockaded doorway to that section, you will see that there are 2 figures standing there in that kind of mindless way.
Of course.
How do you guys wish to proceed?
So those zombies are the only ones we can see here?
Yeah, it looks like they are guarding essentially the doorway that leads into the sort of block unit where this zombie master, where Nikos is currently holed up.
So
I don't think they'll
want to
move
do
out of
this?
the way if we ask them politely.
True? Approaches? Ideas?
Hit them with things.
Yeah. Hitting him
Go
with that.
go straight to the punching?
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
all for punching. I don't know about anyone else.
Okay.
Why not?
Why
All
not?
right, so you guys are going to kind of rush up and attack, is what I'm getting?
I think
Yep.
so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So let's have everybody who's going to attack make their appropriate attack rolls as you kind of rush down the corridor at these two zombies. There's a shot of them going, huh? As you guys come in.
So unarmed attack, I'm going to be punching them. Oh no, that's 3.
Yeah, that's.
Oh.
So is armed in my skill? Is that just being armed or actually fighting armed?
Fighting armed.
Okay.
You do have arms, though.
Yes.
Yes, that I'm very happy about that.
Are you using a brass weapon, or are you pulling out your great two-handed sword in these narrow hallways?
No. Also, I got sort of excited about the brass weapons. We never get to use them, so I'm using those.
All right. So, Stephen, what is your final result with your attack roll?
That's a 0.
Okay.
I think I'll save my fate points.
All right, fair enough. And what was your final result there, Quillith?
A 3.
3. So you and Ishtavan hit the one on the right-hand side. Ishtavan is kind of pinned by the narrowness of this corridor, but you will bring the brass weapon and jam it into this zombie, and it will kind of fall back, very much a kind of a mook zombie, and it drops to the ground there. It's not particularly well put together, and it will collapse to the ground. And let's go to the other side. Chuka, what was your roll?
3.
3. And yours, Rouse?
7.
7. So, Chuka, you get up, with the strike there and hit this thing, and then there's a above you, and you will see Ralph, as you've kind of knocked it and grabbed his attention. Ralph just neatly slices the head off this zombie.
Boy, am I happy I'm so short.
It will bounce to the ground there.
Boink, boink, boink.
All right. So, you've killed the two zombies here. Are you still rushing forward, or taking a more subtle approach, entering in?
Are there any more zombies?
You don't know. You're about to go into this area.
We've been pretty quiet so far, haven't we?
Yeah.
Well, let's do stealth.
Okay. Let's see here. Do I want to? I'm not even going to bother. I do have a map and figures. I'm not going to bother with that. We don't need to go to that sort of craziness there.
We'll make it up in our brain.
Okay. So you'll move in to this block, and again, it's a section of hallways that go off in different directions, kind of madly built. You know that there are about 16 different rooms in here, and there's that gap between the ceiling and the roof. It's dark in here. So the aspects on this scene are dim lighting, crazy corridors, and shoddy construction. Those are available, and I'm going to write that down for myself. Actually, I'll type it up on the chat thing. So I can remember
I was just about to do the same thing. Yay!
Let's do that. Lighting, shoddy construction. The crazy corridors representing the weird architecture through here. It is dimly lit in here, but in the distance you'll hear the sort of the telltale of more zombies echoing through the corridors. How do you wish to proceed? Still stealth-wise?
That sounds good, especially with that dim lighting.
Okay.
Yep. I still.
All right. So Andrea made the last stealth roll. So Stephen, I'm going to make you make this stealth roll here for leading the group. Actually, we're now at a sort of dangerous thing. I'm going to make everybody individually make.
Oh no!
Oh.
What is that? What is that? Suddenly.
Oh, -1. How important is this, guys?
You guys can tag the environment, right?
Yes, we can take the environment. That gives you a success or
So
one
if you
die.
tag the environment, you can use it to re-roll or give yourself a +2
On the result or on your die roll?
on the
Just your
final
dice?
result.
Okay.
Yeah, plus your dice. So Chuka, do you want to tag one of the environmental aspects?
Seems like a great idea.
I would tell you the first time that you use one is free. So for the group, you'll be using the group's free use of it, but you could take and use dim lighting to give yourself a +2 or a reroll.
Does the +2 go just to one person or everybody?
It'd be just to you.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So what will be your final total then?
Well, I was at -1, so that's +1, right?
Yep. Okay. So you're +1. You're doing fine. And Gwyleth?
I have a 2 final total.
2. Okay. And now I am going to roll for my zombie groups here. Let me get my dice stream back up. 1. I'm going to clear that. And the other group. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you guys are moving along carefully through this hallway, trying to find your way, kind of listening. I assume your key to being your lighting source is relatively dim, so you're not spotted.
Yep.
Yes.
And as you kind of make your way along, Chuka, you will see that a couple of these zombies have clearly caught some sense of your movement or something, and while they're not on you guys, they are kind of now, you realize that there's a few of them, maybe if you might want to call them a pack, moving up behind you guys.
Oh.
So now I would like somebody to make a notice roll to kind of find your directions in here.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's a +3. 3 total.
3 total. You are proceeding along, and it looks like when you get to this crossroads, there's still a pack of zombies coming behind you. It looks like there are 2 ways you could go that both seem like they could be the direction to that main part. You know, you can go to the left, or you can go to the right.
Oh, and they both go to the main part.
You think it's hard to judge in here. This place is so insanely built and laid out.
Can we try to lose the zombies in the crazy corridors?
You could, yeah. Do you want to head left or right, though?
Or do we want to split up?
Oh, you can also split up. I would never suggest that, but you could certainly.
That's awesome. Let's do that.
Split up.
Splitting up the group is always a good idea.
Okay. So, yeah. So same groups as before, but that.
Okay.
I suggest we split up the magic users.
And the people with high stealth.
Yeah.
So how do you want to do the pairings?
I'll go with this fun.
Okay.
Of course you would go with
No
him.
one is surprised.
John and Chuka and Ralph. All right. So left or right, Gwyleth?
Right.
Okay. You take off down this right-hand side, and you're going to attempt to lose the zombies here?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you both make another set of stealth rolls here?
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
Got a 5.
Nice.
A 2. Can I invoke the dim lighting again, or does it only work once? Or
if you invoke it again, you would have to spend a fate point to get the bonus,
I
because
won't
the
do
first
that.
one is free.
I think 2 is pretty fine. Okay.
Okay.
No, I don't. Yeah, 2.
Well, actually, I think you have 2. So you guys will make your way up and probably realize that you can kind of pull yourselves up above into that gap between and let them kind of pass around you and move. And they are, you will watch with your accountant's eye and assess. And they do seem to have a very basic set of programming where when they hit, a corner, they stop and they turn left. And they seem to do that the whole time. They seem to be given very basic instructions on guard procedures there.
Patrolling. Oh, it's so cute.
Now, meanwhile, over on the other side, Chuka and Ralph, moving along speedily, trying to lose these things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and make stealth rolls again.
Both of us?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
Even my cat thinks it's scary. Oh no. And she was right.
Now, you have some options with fate points, and we've still got 2 aspects on the scene that haven't been invoked for free.
So what happens if I just go and use them all?
Then you've used them all.
Oh no. So, I could use the crazy corridors. They are so crazy that even the zombies don't find their way anymore, and we managed to lose them.
Okay. So you want to do that for +2, or do you want to re-roll?
Wait, I'm at -1. No, I'm at 0 right now.
Okay.
So I will take the +2 because that puts me to +2. I'm happy with that.
You guys both get a +2, so you're keeping ahead of the zombies, and you both will kind of, both groups will kind of come around. Gwyleth a little bit faster. You guys had a better set of stealth rolls. Around to a bigger sort of central room. It looks like part of what he did was blockading certain corridors, and there is a larger sort of central gathering chamber that one of the walls has been knocked down. It's kind of opened up. You'll see the glow of fires in there. You'll smell the alchemical preparations, the sort of darkening the air here, and there are several zombies sort of standing guard around this area, and you'll hear, yes, oh, yes, divorce me, will you? I'll make you pay. Oh, yes, woman. Oh, yes, you'll pay. Cackle goes on. So let's start with the Istvan and Gwyleth side of things. You guys have both kind of hit the corner. You've got some obstacles, both terrain-wise and zombie-wise. How do you want to proceed?
Can we still try to sneak forward? I think so, right? Because there's obstacles we can sort of hide behind.
You want to try to get up close, get yourself in a good position then on this round?
Okay.
Okay. So a couple more stealth rolls. Are you down with that plan, Istvan?
Sure.
Okay. Look at that.
Ooh, so that's only a 1.
Okay.
Ha!
Are you fine with a 1?
Let's see. There's still one untapped aspect.
Yes, shoddy construction.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take advantage of the shoddy construction.
Okay, so all the free aspects are gone.
Yeah.
Excellent. So that's a 3 for you. And Gwyleth, what's yours?
Also a 3.
Okay, so you guys are good. You will move up. There is a position kind of close by. You're like on the other side of the wall. The zombies are just ahead of you. You've moved past another pack, so there's one pack in between. You will see through this hole in the wall this figure dressed like a street thug, but his skin now pale. His eyes have gotten bigger. His hair seems to have fallen out. And he's got this golden ring, and he's doing all these alchemical preparations and cackling madly to himself here.
Okay.
So you guys are in position. You can see him. You're behind the wall. Let's come over to the other side. Chuka and Ralph, how do you want to proceed? There are a couple of zombie groups in your way. You can hear the cackling.
Can I see that half of our party is in a good position?
No, you have no idea where they are. They are stealthy.
What are the zombie packs doing? Do they just seem like they're patrolling?
The couple that are here right by the section, which is sort of his main laboratory, it seems like they're sort of standing and waiting, like he has them in preparation, like for counting later on.
Okay.
They are still looking around, so you have the sense that they probably will react to any sort of intrusion.
Okay. And do we see the other thug that's supposed to be here somewhere? Or just zombies?
Well, yeah, you actually probably do, because you see one of these zombies with a silver ring on him.
Oh. Oh, honey. Okay. And how many zombies are we talking about, Lowell?
Say 2 packs of 3, so 6. So a 6-pack of
That's not too
zombies.
bad. A 6-pack of
That's a
zombies.
lot of zombies.
Sure is. I think we should
And
pause
these are
a
not
distraction.
like your standard zombies. These are fresh zombies. These are clearly tenants of the building, housewives and janitors and street sweepers and so on that have been zombified. It's actually pretty horrible.
Oh, poor thing.
So I think
Now
our best bet here is to probably try to cause a distraction.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you've got your magic-y light source, but I probably have like a lantern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of that oil and start kind of spilling it out in a line,
Okay.
leading away from the creepy laboratory area, and I'll tell Chuka to hide.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I get it kind of, spilled out, I will basically start it on fire.
Okay.
Nice.
So you're going to create an aspect on the scene of distracting fire is going to
Yep.
be your action for that. What do you think is the appropriate skill to roll for getting that really well done? I let you choose your own destruction on this.
I appreciate that. You're so nice. I think maybe sticking with stealth.
Okay, that seems like a good thing. You're doing it subtly, getting it set up. All right. Go ahead and make that roll for me.
That is a 4.
That's a 4. So, Chuka, she'll get this set up, and she will light this fire. And for you guys, for the scene now, there are 2 free invokes. You can use it twice freely of fiery distraction.
Fiery distraction.
Flame lights up in the corridors, and the zombies will kind of start to move forward because they're drawn to this change in the environment. When that happens, what do you want to do, Chuka?
I guess I will try to take out one of the zombies.
Okay.
I hope it's one with the silver ring.
Certainly, you can target that one in particular. Go ahead and unarmed, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my tiny little fists.
Okay.
Ooh, that's 7.
Nice.
I love my tiny little fist.
That's a 7?
Yes.
Okay. So the packs of zombies are actually considered like a single group, a single character. Okay. Let me roll. Let me clear my dice and roll for the zombies here. Ooh. So you will leap out from the shadows into this corridor, flaming oil, catching him high. You're a little whirlwind of destruction. The first one you catch on the back of the knee, drop him into the flames. Second one you'll bring up, swing around, leg sweep, catches into the air, knock the head askew, it drops. And the third one of the pack, you'll sort of do a straight takedown and grab the silver ring off of them with a 7. And essentially you're standing in the middle of these 3 zombie corpses there. Seem reasonable?
Yes. And
Okay.
I was just like, wow, I didn't know I can do that.
That's awesome.
You're silhouetted with the flames behind you. You look pretty terrifying for the gnome here at this point. So there is this distraction, this noise, this fire goes off, this noise, and you will hear what? From inside the room, and you can see that some of the zombies will kind of start to kind of look around as if they've been commanded to start searching the area more actively. That's his action, is to do that. They are going to attempt to spot your group, your pair. You guys had 3s, so they will start moving around, but you guys are hidden behind chunks of the flooring and stuff, and so Gwileth, Istvan, they're moving past you, so we'll say that one of the 2 groups that's on this side is taken out of the way by that. The other 3-pack of zombies on that side is moving along towards the flames. So they're sort of between Chuka and Ralph, because they're now looking around, and maybe one of them will kind of turn and lock eyes and clearly see you, Chuka, in the midst of this pile of zombie corpses. So that's the bad guy's action on that round. Smoke in the air. Flame is still available as two free invokes on that. Who wants to start this round?
I will.
Okay, so let's have you start, Ralph.
All right, so it's on like Donkey Kong.
All right.
Waited my whole life to say that. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack the pack that had the other pack that was heading towards the flames.
Okay.
That was not taken out.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll.
That is a 4 with my sword.
Okay.
I deal a +1 harm with my signature weapon, which is what this is. So I don't know if that's a 5.
So that'll be so above their margins. It's 4 points plus another 1, so 5 harm. So 2 of the 3 zombies will drop. Essentially, you run up and snicker snack, cut them down, and there's just one of the 3 zombies that is still up and is lurching towards you. Ralph, who goes after you?
I'm going to take my battle partner.
Okay, Chuka, your turn. What do you want to do?
I will attack the zombie.
Okay, you're going to take out the last one of these zombies? Make your attack roll.
That's 4.
Okay. Let's see. I'm hoping this zombie will roll like dynamite. Okay.
Dynamite zombie.
Oh, 3 1s. This zombie is clearly, has looming and lurching towards your partner, but you'll catch him in the back and send him flying into the flames with a crack where he'll drop into it, and we'll get that bad special effect like in a zombie movie, of the sort of plastic fake corpse burning up in the flames there as you take that one down. So your zombies on your side are completely down. Who goes after you?
Our scribe.
Okay.
How far have we sneaked ahead? Are we actually close to?
You are on the other side of the wall. Through a hole in the wall, you can see this possessed guy.
Okay.
You could go over the wall. You could go through the hole. You could move around past the zombies. How do you want to do this?
How big is the hole?
Like say about that big.
Okay. Well, we don't have any projectile weapons, so that's not going to work very well. We'll have to go over the wall.
Okay. I will point out you do have spells.
Oh, right, it's true. I do. Yes, good point. In that case, I will not. I will actually use my cool spell.
Okay.
And be like the squid.
So describe to me what this looks like.
I will actually, I don't know how I do it. I might just do it from my hands. I'll say a little prayer, and ink shoots out from my fingers.
Okay, and you trying to splat across his face there?
Or blind him, which if he seems to be controlling the zombies, that might not be a bad thing.
All right, so go ahead and make a magic roll.
Divinity? Yes.
Divinity. Yes, divinity. Yes. For you, make that roll. He is relatively unaware.
Oh no! My god, is this pleased?
Do you want to?
He is distracted by the fire.
Yeah, I want to use a refresh on that.
Okay.
If I can. Can I?
So you can either use the fire as a distraction, describe how that works, or pick one of your aspects to invoke and spend a fate point to get that effect.
Okay. Interesting. I'm not sure how to. Well, the fire can only be invoked once, right? Freely.
Twice.
So. Oh, okay.
Because,
Then I will invoke the fire and
Okay.
take his distraction from that.
So he's looking around the smoke and fire. He doesn't know where it's coming from.
Yes.
And you will through the hole in the wall. Oh my God!
Much better. That's a 6.
Yeah, 6-point swing is a good use of an aspect.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh God Almighty! So you will put blinded on him and choking. We'll say that's a couple free invokes on that. As he kind of turns, there's maybe this moment when he sees your eye through the hole from the distraction. He's like, eh, and then just ink sprays out and covers over him. Trying to cackle at the same time, and completely blinded by that. Ishvan, you are the last person in your team. What do you want to do?
Okay, well, I need to get to the other side of this wall, so I mean, that's a thief with the bonus for escape, I think.
Okay.
So I just want to get into good position to attack on the next round.
All right. So make that roll. I'll let you use that thief.
Okay. So that ends up being a 6.
Okay. So you will tumble past, flip over the wall, get into this room, potions, poultices, all kinds of lab stuff, all kinds of ingredients there. It looks like he's got a couple more corpses that he's preparing in process, and you are in position right by him, and he's blind, so he cannot see you. So right now I'm going to take the bad guys, and he will have to essentially spend his action clearing one of the blind aspects. So he's going to work on that. And you'll see him stumble over to one of the tables and grab some liquid and kind of try to throw it into his face. Looks like some sort of alcohol or thinner or something to clear that off from there. The zombie pack that was sort of free and by, now that you've kind of sprayed and lured it, is going to move onto your position, Gwileth, and is going to attack you.
Okay.
So I'm going to make an attack for the zombie pack. Typically, defense is done with athletics rolls for defense.
But I can also use lore for my physical defense attempts.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going for the grab on you. So I've got a 2.
I have a 2 plus a 3 is a 5.
Okay. So you're watching the angles, seeing where they're coming, getting out of the way as they try to grab at you. You can hear that some of the other patrol packs are also now moving up towards you guys. So the patrol packs are moving up. There's no active zombies on Chuka and Ralph, but my move on that side will be that you will see a couple more zombie packs closing in on your position so that they can attack on the following round.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm moving to threaten on all those sort of areas. And next round, who wants to start?
Okay, I am going to. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I'm right next to him. I'm surprisingly light on my feet. He's blinded and distracted by the fire. I'm going to try to use my thief skills to get the ring off his finger.
Okay. Why don't you make a thief roll for me?
Okay, so that's -1. So that's 3. But I am surprisingly light on my feet, which gets me up to 5, and he is blinded, which gets me to 7.
Okay, so you do those invokes on that, get that. Whoop, it's maybe a little loosened by the fact that it's wet with ink and alcohol. You'll kind of pull that off, and there's the cackling which was going on. Will kind of come to a stop. I do need you, Istvan, to make a will roll for me.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, whoops, that's not what I... Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, -1.
Okay. Is that your total?
Yes.
Okay.
Do a reroll. Do a reroll. We don't want to start fighting you.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's. I'm just looking for a good aspect. Let's see. We don't have anything in the room that's particularly useful. So
Seems like a personal aspect time.
yeah. I mean, I guess I have to go with underestimated foreign rogue, and
Okay.
I'll take the +2 for that.
Okay.
Do a 1.
All right. So you are going to take 2 points of composure stress,
Okay.
which is mental stress. I don't know how it's written on that sheet there.
Okay. Yeah. All right, and I've got mental stress of 2, so that
So you bump your 2 box off.
right.
Okay. And this force is definitely, as you're holding it, attempting to mentally dominate you. And all you hear is, "Put the ring on. You know you want to. Come on." All right. Who goes after you?
Okay. I guess Gwyneth, and I'm trying to. My precious.
Gwyleth.
So I see this through the hole in the wall, I guess?
Your zombies are on you, but you see
right.
quickly
Oh,
through
God.
the hole in the wall. The camera shot as you kind of lean in, and you'll see him with the ring. He's holding it up like this, and there's that.
No. And what is our Lycos doing? Is he still there? Right? He's only
Yeah,
just
he's
discovered that.
He's sort of staggering back. Clearly, this mental domination has been removed from him, and he's catching his breath on this round.
Okay. I will jump over the wall.
Okay, so an athletics check to get yourself into position, let's say.
Oh, I'm really good at that. It's not so bad. Oh, that's a 4.
Oh, so despite your heavy armor,
Mm-hmm. I'm a
which
strong
I'm
dwarf,
almost tempted to invoke that against you, but you'll kind of leap up, grab onto the wall,
Dwarf.
and hurtle yourself over, land standing up on one of these tables. The table will then crash down
Yes.
under your weight, and you're standing on the ground. So you are in position. There's the Nikos recovering. There's your friend about to put the ring on.
Mm-hmm.
You've moved away, so the zombies will have to move around to come to attack you on their turn. Who goes after you?
I want to see what Chuka's up to.
Chuka.
Do I see that he's trying to put the ring on?
Well, you could move over to the area. You've heard the cackling stop, so you know something has occurred over there.
I will move there. I am curious. I want to see what's going on.
All right. Let's have you make an athletics roll here. You've got fire. You've got zombie bodies. It's more chaotic.
Oh, that's a 2.
Okay. So you will just get over there into position and see Gwyleth, see your friend Istvan struggling with the ring, see Nikos startle back. You've moved away from the zombies that were going to attack, and we'll say that that's where your position is right now. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes.
All right. And now Ralph.
Ralph is actually going to move to engage the zombies.
Okay.
Yay! Crowd control.
Describe to me how you want to do this. Do you want to try and hold them off, or do you want to start killing them, or what do you want to do?
I think she's going to actually be holding them off and off
Okay.
of Shuka's back.
All right. So you kind of move up. I'm going to have you make an armed roll to essentially create an aspect that to push them back, a sort of wall of steel.
So that is a 3.
Okay. So one of the zombie groups will have to essentially eat that and not be able to attack. One of them will probably be able to move up on you to do an attack.
That's fair.
Okay. And in fact, I'm going to do that attack now. So this is an assault on you. Use athletics for defense.
Ooh.
And that was a terrible roll.
Was it as terrible as mine?
Well, let's see. So this might be 2. I'm at a 1.
Oh, yeah, I'm at a 0. I'm going to, I think, use a point
Okay.
on an aspect to... Which one should I use? I have so many options. I am a precision duelist.
Excellent. And you reroll?
That's much better. So that is a
Okay.
3.
All right. So you've got one held off with the swords, and you kind of turn as the other ones come in, and bat them away. And the other group is kind of pushing in, but they're held. The ones that attack don't do anything. The zombie group that was closest and was attacking Willith will turn and kind of move around to get in there, though they do seem to be slowing down right now. And the other groups are coming into position, so I'm not going to get an attack this round on the bad guys. However, Nikos
Wants his precious back.
will gather himself together, and he will go to grab at you, Istvan. You may make an athletics defense roll. Ooh.
That's 3.
3. So we tie. So he doesn't do any damage to you, but he's come up and he's kind of got an advantage on you as you see him. He's clawing, his eyes mad, clearly trying to grab that ring back for himself. All right. Who goes first on this round?
Gotta be Jules or Yona.
Okay.
If I'm-
will. Well, yes, we're both there, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah. You go first.
I'll try. Well, is Istvan? Is he sort of snapped out of it?
He's still in that sort of contest of wills with this ring.
Then I will try to grab his arm and try to talk him out of it.
Okay. What do you think is the appropriate skill for you assisting him in this?
Wait, hold on. I'm not looking at my own sheet. That might
Oh.
help if I actually would be. Hey, I have no persuasion skills.
Presence, maybe, or lore or something?
I'm not sure how to make that into a lore thing. That might be.
Divinity?
Divinity might be the best one. I will actually try to ask
think
my
you should have
inky god.
I kind of feel like you should have rolled lore to find out that if you kissed him, it would break the spell.
Oh,
I could try that anyway to see if it helps.
Well, why don't you make a lore roll for me?
Okay. That's 3 plus 3, 6.
All right. You will see, as you kind of grab onto this, and on the table, there is what looks like a ring box.
Mm-hmm.
And you will see that it is made out of brass.
Oh, excellent.
And you've got a hold, kind of trying to do this. Yana.
If I will help her, is it possible to actually get the ring into the box? If not, I will use that liquid to hinder Nikos.
Okay. So which one would you prefer to try to do?
At this point, get the ring into the box.
Okay. So I think that is going to be a sort of a precision check. Since you actually want to kind of grab it and move it into the box, that'll be athletics, since you're actually trying to take control here. So let's have you do that. It is a tiny object clutched in his hand. So there's, let's say, a difficulty of 2.
Oh, that's a 1. I'm gonna use one of my fate points to actually re-roll that. Or can I just get...
You can get plus 2.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay. So you will kind of grab it. I am going to have you make a will roll here for me.
Oh, no. So how do I actually do that? I don't have any will thingies
roll
here.
Will, or you can roll magic for this.
Magic, yes.
Ooh, yes.
That's a 5.
That's a 5. So you grab it, and you actually will stop, freeze in position, and you can feel this voice. Your arm kind of locks, and it's kind of, come on, you know you want to put me on. It's really creepy, super uncomfortable, but you've still got the ring there. Istvan.
Okay, I guess I don't want to touch the ring again. So I'm just going to restrain Night Ghost.
Okay. What do you want to roll for that?
I guess athletics.
Okay, let's do the contest of athletics here.
Yeah, that's not
I
bad.
need
That's
to
a
clear
4.
it. So he's disturbed. He's ranting, and you will grab and pull and haul him back away from this, and push him, and he is locked out of the combat. We'll say you got him held. That leaves Ralph.
Ooh,
And a horde of zombie.
And the horde of zombie. But I think I'm still on the other side of the wall.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to attempt to dispatch some of these things.
Okay. God, what a
That is a 6.
6. So you injured that one group before. It did some damage to the pair. You will finish off that pack, but you still got the one that last time you were holding with your wall of steel that is still pressing forward on you. But now the hallway is sort of ankle deep with zombie. All right, so I've got a couple of zombie attacks.
Yes.
Let's start with the zombie attack on Ralph. God, would I clear? I hate stupid. I hate the way it keeps the dice.
You can turn it off, can't you?
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, can you?
If you go to settings, you can have it clear.
Oh, clear dice before you roll. That would be something about reading and knowing how this works.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your total?
6.
6. So you bat these things back easily as they come in at you. They're pressing hard, seem to have renewed energy from the ring being in the hands of a magic user, and they're trying to press forward. A group of zombies will come around into the room, and I believe so. Istvan is pushed back, and I think it's actually going to be on you, Gwyleth, the zombie pack.
Okay.
They're going to try and get you to keep you from assisting Chuka. So you may make a defense check against this athletics.
Uh-huh.
Clear.
I can still use my lure for that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That is a 4.
4. So clearly they are trying to put a tag on you to push you back, but you will get out from that.
Yes.
So who wants to start this round?
Yona.
So the situation is that I'm holding the ring and I still need to put it into the box, right?
Yes, we are going to have a contest of will for you.
Oh my god.
So my will effect versus your magic roll here.
You're the best person to do this, probably.
3. Actually, we don't see your rolls. There's something.
Oh, I rolled 3 pluses.
So I've got 3 pluses all together too. I'm going to use my...
Did you roll 3 dice or 4? I only see 3 dice on your thing.
Oh, right. That's true.
Aha!
So you may...
Yeah, it's just cleared it. So
Okay.
that's another plus. So yeah, I'm actually at 4.
All right. So you're at 4. Are you going to bump that with anything?
Do I need to? Since you
Looks
asked,
like
yes.
it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
use my last fate point for that.
Okay.
And I'm going to use the sincerity opens the way. I am so sincere about that. I'm actually too much innocent to be lured by the ring.
Okay. No. I couldn't. All right, that will give you a 1-point edge on him. So you win that contest of wills. What do you want to do?
I want to put the ring into the books.
Okay.
Get rid of it.
This is how that works. Drop, snap, and the voice will stop.
Wow.
And you will see the zombies stop, and they will freeze in place. Andrea, the ones in front of you, and they just stop and stand there. And it
Wow.
gets very quiet. Just the crackle of the fire, the sound of the low, and Nikos sobbing. My precious.
Somebody get him.
I guess we arrest Lycos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I've already got him restrained, so we put the manacles on him.
Okay.
I think the
So-
zombies are broken.
Yeah,
You will
they
be
look-
able to dispatch these zombies in a relatively painless manner. You will lock Nikos up. You'll get these goods impounded. You'll do the perp walk with Nikos out of the building. People are all standing around. They've heard this fight going on. You also put the fire out, I assume.
We're good like that.
You'll get the other rings. There will be some procedural elements that will go on for now, some legal wrangling over necromantic licensing with your friend and about who gets control of it and dangerous artifacts.
Yes.
And she will be disappointed, but that will get settled out, and you guys will be able to go back to the station house and settle yourselves down with the smell of burning zombie flesh and all of that in your clothes. It just doesn't come out. But you will have satisfactorily solved that case.
While we sit down, I will take the bottle out. Anybody want to try this strawberry-smelling thingy?
We could go to the brewery festival.
We
I
could.
have one more
think they have
case.
better.
No, that's it. I always give people a choice of cases, and we just do one.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Yeah.
That's for
No.
that's for another day.
But
Yeah.
in character, I'm pretty sure we still have another case.
Yes.
Yes.
There's
Hi,
always
Jan.
one more.
Hey, Jan.
Hey.
Right in time, getting your face in the on-air thingy.
Well, and also him putting on his belt.
Yes, I was thinking that too. Oh.
So that's it. That's the thing. These things usually take about 2 to 3 hours to wrap up a case on these. So I hope that was okay.
Yes, that was fun.
Yay. I really love the setting. I don't know what it is, but I usually hate fantasy, but its setting is just so cute.
I liked it too.
Cute.
I love this game. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the police procedural theme works really well in the fantasy setting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
You do need to get the sound effects, like the dunk dunk.
yes.
And
That would be great.
we need to have sunglasses that we can put on at some point. So.
Mhm. And pull them off when you say
Yes,
dramatic
exactly.
things. That's a Rich Rogers technique there. So I like it because at least at the table when we do the face-to-face campaign, there are there's a lot of lateral thinking and a lot of different approaches to solving problems, and it's a very diverse group. So it's good.
So is this your setting, or was it made
Yeah.
during a microscope game, or?
Looks like
Yeah, they
action
actually
cards,
built the
right?
city. they built the city using microscope.
And rock and roll.
And built that up, and rock and roll, yes. And then we play that with our homebrew, which is a sort of Fate variant that we use cards for. So they get, it's a 6-player game, so it's a pretty large group,
Wow.
but yet it runs pretty well.
Sweet.
Well, thank you guys very much. I'm going to end the broadcast there. Stop that.